Welcome to this deep and gentle flow class. In the deep and gentle flow class, we're always focusing on a more yin approach, going a bit slower, holding the poses a bit longer, always something between 2 and 5 minutes to really support our inner system, our nervous system, our tissues, our cells, really go down to the deepest cellular level when we do these classes to find healing, to find restoration, to be able to even better do the things we want to do in a day life, and to create really a deep new reset in our tissues, in our muscles, in our fascia. If you should have any tension currently in any part of your body, this can really help you as we are holding the poses quite long. And after around 60 to 90 seconds, we're moving deeper into the tissue always when holding the pose longer. And that can definitely support you to release any deep tension that you be holding somewhere. And still, it's important that you take well care of your own borders. When we practice yin, we're always in the beginning, when entering the pose, moving a bit towards our edge, see where our edge is today, and then to find stillness in it, find really a sense of moving, just being in it, surrendering into it. So find your edge in all the poses we do today with loving kindness and really also respecting your body. Because if we go too deep in a moment, it can also happen that we go into a kind of panic zone, so that all our tissues, our muscles, our nervous system actually does the contraction that we don't want to do, that it starts to tighten even more. And that's so kind of a sweet spot we need to find for ourselves. Let's start in a seated position. You can check in for you if you like to sit more cross-legged this evening. Maybe you like to sit on your heels or on a prop. Just check what feels good for you right now. You can place your hands on your thighs or in between your legs. I invite you to first close your eyes to really arrive here with yourself on your mat today. The yin practice, especially in the evening, can support us so much to find better and deeper sleep, to release any tension that built up over the day, to not go with it into our sleep, but that our sleep can really be a restoring time for our body, can do all its work it's able to do. I invite you here to start to breathe in and out through your nose. That should be not possible for some reason. For sure, you can also use your mouth. I invite you here to first check in how you're breathing right now. Just observe without changing anything yet here. Just check in with yourself. How is my breath right now? Is it shallow or is it deeper? You can also place one hand on your lower belly if that feels good for you. And then start to, on the inhale, let your belly expand a bit more, breathing into your lower belly. On the exhale, let it deflate. Continue for some in and exhale here to first connect with your breath. That is something, if a yin asana, a yin pose, it should get challenging in any moment, your breath will be your support to go through this a little bit challenging moment. to connect in that moment then with your breath. Consciously breathe in and out, deeply into your belly. Pick the thought of that it's just momentarily what you're experiencing there, that this little hill, this little challenge will pass by. Breathing deeper and slower, calming our nervous system, creating more alkaline state in our body, offering more possibility for our body to heal. By regularly connecting with your breath, consciously breathe deeply into your body. All the additional oxygen you're taking in creates a very, very good environment for you to experience also a different life, more peaceful. And I invite you here to release focus your attention again off your breath. You can place your hand again on your lap, on your thighs. Keep it where it is, whatever feels good for you here. And you can still keep the eyes closed. If it feels better for you to open them, just open them. And then we're going to start a bit more with our upper body. I invite you to find very slow movements in your neck as if you say yes. With your inhale, your chin moves towards your chest. On the exhale, you slowly start to move your head backwards, letting your chin rise a bit up. Not to overstretch, just very gently here. And find here in your own pace this movement of yes, working with our first cervical vertebra here, the atlas. That's the one allowing us to say yes. Bringing more consciousness to your movement and your breath. Also brings more potential and more energy to what you do. Focusing everything on one thing. Even if multitasking became quite popular these days, a little bit as if you try to watch maybe 3 or 5 movies at the same time, which doesn't work, which will let you not experience any of them in a real good way. 2 more movements here of saying yes. And then stop in a neutral position again. And start to slowly move your head on the inhale to the right side, starting to say no. Exhaling, going back to the middle. Inhale, turn over to the left. Really do this here. Allow yourself to go into a slow motion movement. Exhale back into the middle in your pace. And that can be really the challenge. This fast-paced world. To start doing things again slowly. calming our mind in that way and our whole body. In the beginning, that can be really a challenge. Often, no, we're also starting to move our second cervical vertebrae, the axis. These two movements, actually just two vertebrae, are relevant. And for sure, some muscles moving. Two more of those here. And then meet me back again in a neutral middle position. I invite you to bring your chin down towards your chest, bending your head down, bowing down. On the inhale, start to roll your right ear towards your right shoulder, making nice neck rolls here. On the exhale, moving back forward, making kind of a half moon. Inhale, bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Exhale, roll back to the middle. And also here, move in your own pace. Often we're carrying a lot on our shoulders, left and right, and on the neck, in the neck. But consciously giving these places in our body time to release the tension we're holding there. Responsibilities or things we took over. Can even sometimes release emotions during a yin class. Feeling that all the pressure is falling off your shoulders you might be carrying right now. Your family or your work. In the past. Or things you're worrying about the future. And allow yourself by this movement to release that a little bit more. Two more of these here now. Stay slow. Very good. And stop in a neutral position, having your chin towards your chest. And slowly start to bring your head, then once you're there, over the middle, back up again. Very good. If you have your eyes still closed, I invite you to open your eyes again. And then start to bring your hands either to the sides or to the front, however you best can get up on your knees. If you have sensitive knees, maybe you want to bring something under your knees. We're not staying long here directly on our knees. If you need a blanket, we're now moving into hero's pose. Maybe you want to either place a blanket under your ankles or in between your hamstrings and your calves. We're bringing our feet a bit more than hip wide apart, up to the edge of the mat here. And we're starting to sit back between our calves. We can take both our hands, roll our calves a bit outwards so we have more space to sit down into. And then sit down here in between your legs. If you feel that your knees should not allow that or your hips, just place a prop under your sit bones. And then first arrive here in hero's pose, feeling your sit bones on the mat or your prop, letting your spine rise up here. And I invite you to place your right hand next to your right foot, spread out, fingertips touching the mat. And then take your left hand over the side to the top of your head, placing it at your right side of the forehead. And then gently starting to bend over your neck to the left side, opening the right side of your neck, of your shoulder. Relaxing your shoulders. Just breathe here in and out. With every yin pose, you're totally invited to also close your eyes. Feel even deeper, even more, just stay with yourself. Breathe in and out deeply into your belly. Very good. One more and an exhale here. On the next inhale, start to release your hand here. Bring your head back into an upright position. Bring the hand over the side next to your body again. Bring the left hand also back inwards towards your legs. And then stay here for a moment, two in an exhale, just in a neutral position. And start to reach your left fingertips out to the left side of your body. Either bring the fingertips just on the mat, or for sure you can also place the whole hand. With the fingertips, we can create an even greater leverage here towards our shoulder. And bring the right arm over the side to the top of your head, folding around your head, reaching towards the left ear, placing it above it. On the next exhale, start to bend your head over to the right side, stretching the left side of your neck. Also here, maybe you like to close your eyes. Don't pull on your head, but really just gently feel how much you like or can open here. Your neck muscles, just carrying your head all day. And breathe deeply. If you feel that there might be deep resistance, we can also sometimes just shortly contract, like engage the muscles which are on that side. Then relax deeper into it. It can support the muscle and letting more go. Two more in an exhale here. And also here, Start to release your right hand, bring the head back into a neutral middle position. And the right hand over the side, back to your leg. Place both hands onto your thighs. And just stay for a moment, still in a neutral position. Whole body is covered with fascia tissue, just a bit like the white peel. You also have in oranges or grapefruits, holding together everything, all the juicy bits which are inside, in different levels. And it's the same thing what's in our body. This fascia tissue can easily get a bit stiff, a bit hard, not nicely moisturized. And by moving it and or holding the postures longer, we're connecting to the deeper fascia tissues that we have in our body, open them up again to allow more flexibility in our body, which often then also represents the flexibility that we experience in our lives and ourselves and our minds. From here, I invite you to bring the palms of your hands together, and then interlace the fingers, and then starting to make little wrist rolls. Rotate your wrists here into one direction first, clockwise or counterclock, whatever feels best for you in the beginning. And same with fascia tissue, we have the same with our joints. If we don't use it, we lose it. We have a synovial, we have a fluid called synovial fluid in our joints. And if we don't move our joints, if we don't move our body, the fluid is getting less and less, also creating stiffness. Moving ourselves is really important. You haven't changed the direction maybe yet already by yourself. Just start to move the direction. Very good. And then bring your hands next to your feet. Press yourself up here. Come onto your knees and come with me into tabletop position. Bringing your knees under your hips, bringing your wrists under your shoulders. Nice long spine, neck in lengthening of your spine. Crown as if you have a torch on the top of your head and the crown is directly shining to the front. Gaze is between your hands. I'm going to shift our weight a bit onto our left hand now. On the inhale, bring the right arm over the side to the top of our head. Exhaling, lowering it back down, threading the needle, bringing the right hand under our left armpit to the left side, lowering down onto our right shoulder, our right side of the forehead. And then you can also bring either your left hand out to the front if that feels better for you, lengthening your left hand, your left arm. Or you could also, if that feels good for you, bring your left hand on top of your back. Just feel what is right for you. Find your edge here. Settle yourself. See what your body feels good with right now. Then allow yourself to drop more. Surrender here into this thread the needle pose.
adding gravity to the work, letting you fall deeper into this pose. Also here, close your eyes to melt deeper here into yourself. And still continue to breathe in and out deeply into your belly. Yoga also supports us really a lot because we move so much slower. We really sometimes drastically slow down the pace, and that has the beautiful calming effect into our mind as well, that it's not longing for instant saturation of having new impulses, that it can also totally just surrender into a constant thing you are experiencing in one moment, feeling safe, and just staying where you are right now. Slowly bring your left hand back next to your head. Press here into your left hand. Bring the right arm out of the needle pose here. Let it rise up once more, up into the sky. And then on the exhale, bring your hand down again next to your left hand. Widening your knees maybe a little bit and falling back with your back towards your feet, lengthening your fingers to the top side of the mat. Coming in with me into child's pose for a moment, neutralizing. Often our minds also likes to have some instant satisfaction. If it brings up an idea, it wants to have it now. And actually, it's good if we ourselves can teach it. A bit like teaching a dog or a puppy if it has to wait. That our mind and moments also has to wait, and that it doesn't always get, even if it feels pleasurable or not so pleasurable, everything straight away. So that you have more kind of control back over your mind and not your mind over you. One more deep and an exhale here. And then press into your knees. Come back up with me onto all fours, tabletop. Bring your knees
A little bit back together again. Wrists under shoulders. Your weight a little bit onto your right hand. And on the inhale, start to bring your left hand up into the sky. On the exhale, lower it down, thread the needle under your right armpit. Go through here with your hand, bring your left shoulder onto the mat, your left forehead onto the mat, and also here, check in. Where would you like to place your right hand? More towards the front of the mat, on your back, next to your head. Find your pose here, what feels good for you right now, and then allow yourself to stay here for the next around 3 minutes. Breathing deeply in and out. Let gravity really pull your body towards the mat. And slowly also here, bring your right hand next to your head. Press into your right hand. Bring your left arm back out here on the inhale. Let it rise up again into the sky. Exhale, lower it back down. Very good. And then move a bit forwards. Come with me into a lying position. Going to continue still a little bit further with our shoulders, especially in winter time when it gets colder. You also want to bring our shoulders up to our ears because we feel tightening our muscles will warm us up, but actually it doesn't so much, just creates more pain. I invite you to reach both arms out to the sides and then bring your left foot towards your butt. And then start to roll over
to the right side, over your right leg, placing the sole of your foot onto the floor. Exactly. Adjusting maybe your arms a little bit. Check in where you would like to place your left hand, maybe a bit more towards your face. And then allow yourself here to melt into this nice right shoulder, neck, and upper back opener. Sometimes all the things that we are grinding our thoughts about in life can just really melt and flow away after practicing a yin class. So the answers that need to be made for releasing the tension around the question, around the thing you have there, can just naturally come into flow again. Everything can then just come with more ease. So finding more wisdom through that in your own body, coming back more into your body rather than just staying in the head. It's also as we are then more moving back into our body, perfectly normal and also super welcome. If any emotions, whatever kind of, if it's joy or anger or sadness, if anything should rise up, allow that to be there, to observe it, to let it be with you as long as it wants to stay in that moment without holding on to it. Same as we're opening deep tissues, our body is like a memory book. It can also sometimes happen that we receive images or memories of past experiences because they release out of our body memory. And also there, don't have to follow up on that. Let it just be there for the moment, show itself, and then let it pass on. Especially the deeper and longer we hold in our poses, the more likely these things can happen. And slowly start to bring your left knee closer towards your mat. Let it roll back into the middle. Roll your upper body also back flat on the mat. Bring both of your hands under your head. You can also interlace your fingers here and place one of your finger joints on your third eye, the point between your eyebrows, resting your head on it and moving your finger joint gently in a circular way around your third eye, giving it a little massage here. Very good. And I invite you to release that here again. Bring the hands a little bit in front of your mat. Bring your elbows a little bit closer together and your elbows under your shoulders. Coming here with me into Sphinx pose. Pressing the palms of your hands a bit into the mat and away from your body. Letting your chest rise up here. Your neck rise up. Either you can stay here with me in Sphinx pose, or you can bring your hands a bit more to the front edges of the mat and press yourself even a little bit more up into sealed pose. Check in what feels good for you, what is right for you right now. In sealed pose, you can also let your head hang a bit more down, relax your neck, not creating any more pressure onto your neck right now. And whichever pose you feel is most serving for you right now, just stay there now for the next 60 seconds, engaging your glutes to protect your lower spine a little bit, breathing deeply in and out. Let your belly get a massage by deep belly breath. Pressing your hands here nicely into the mat. And slowly starting to lower your arms back down onto the mat. Reaching both hands back out to the sides. Bringing your right foot towards your right butt. And then let your upper body, your whole body roll over to your right side. Let the sole of your foot meet the ground here. And then place your right hand where it feels good. Place the forehead, the left side of the forehead onto the mat. And allow here a nice shoulder opening. Sometimes it might feel, or it has been learned for people, that feeling emotions, expressing emotions is a weakness. It's actually a big part of the yin side. Yin is more watery, more cold from the temperature, more fluid, connected more to emotions, connected more to the moon. So by stepping and allowing more of our yin energy, which is slower, which is more receptive, more opening, we also actually invite our emotions, our energy to come more into motion, into flow. Embracing the yin side of ourselves with all our emotions. It's very important to feel balanced in our life. Let it be there. To just be with it.
Our body really, like the seasons of the year, like the sunlight, the daylight, and the moonlight, the evening, the nighttime. Also, we as human beings, as a part of nature, we also need both. We need yang, we need fire, we need doing, we need focus. We also need yin, we need slowness, we need stillness, we need being. If we do not take well enough care that we do get this balance, our body is going to get out of balance, our health, our mind. So wisely, always checking a bit in. Am I a bit too fiery? Am I a bit too watery? And then to level it out again with all the other elements, with all the other sides that we have, the yin or the yang side. And then also here, slowly let your right knee flow back towards the mat. Roll the front side of your body back onto the mat. And then press your hands into the mat. Come onto your knees. Bring your hands a bit more forward than in tabletop position. And then slowly start your heart to melt towards the mat. You can put your forehead onto the mat. And then let your chest, if you go a bit into a cow back, so that your chest, your spine is hanging a bit more through. And also slowly from here, start to press your hands back into the mat. Into tabletop. And grab for a block, for a bolster, and place it at the top side of your mat. And we're bringing our right foot forward here. If you like to even have additional support under your left knee, please put it there. We're going into a low lunge, into dragon pose now. From here, we're going to move our upper body to the left side of our right knee. Maybe you want to bring your foot even a bit more towards the long edge of the mat. And then bringing your upper body down here onto the height which feels good for you, and check in. Maybe you even want to have more props. Maybe you even want to put a blanket on there. Finding your edge without that it has to become a super challenge.
Also here, I always like to give the invitation, if you have your hands together, to just bring both of your thumbs together, and then place your thumbs also at a bit below your third eye, where your nose meets your eyebrows, so you can rest your hand onto your thumbs, and then start to relax into here, opening your hip, but also relaxing your shoulders. Breathing deeply in and out. Wherever we get more tension in our body, it's time to breathe deeper. It's the same thing what we can take into life. Whenever it gets a bit more challenging, should remember to breathe deeper. This is often the time of the class where people start to feel that they already entered kind of a different realm of being, different space, a different time, feeling a bit more drifted away from what is happening or has happened on a daily basis, entering really a different space. If you should ever get some kind of shivers in your body when holding any pose, or more like a shocking movement, like a muscle shocking, that's also just a release of the tension which is still held in there. Just welcome that and let that happen. And slowly start to release here out of dragon pose again. Press your upper body out here. Place your right knee next to your left knee. And then come with me here back into hero's pose. Bring your calves back away from your thighs. Press it a bit to the outside. And then bring the right foot forward. Release your right foot again. And also here, you can take a prop to place it onto your leg, onto your knee. Put a block, for example, otherwise next to your right leg on the inside. And we are going to press the back side of our right leg into the mat and start to fall forward. And also here, it can support the neck if you place anything onto your legs or onto your knee, which supports your head, which is stressed. Your neck muscles don't have to carry anything right now.
If you should feel that it's challenging for the body, not that it's about achieving anything here, but it can support if we press the back side of our right leg muscles a bit more into the mat, that then our upper body is more able to fold deeper. It's the stretch reflex I was already a bit talking about beforehand. We contract some muscles, others can relax a little bit more. It's kind of a nervous system security, and that we can move around if we're just contracting these muscles here. And then we can just fall deeper. Continue to breathe deeply. Very good. And then slowly, slowly, you can press your hands a bit into the mat to get easier out. Calm your back into an uprighter, seated position. Bring your left leg next to the right leg. We shortly just move your feet, but like windshield wipers, the left and the right. Very good. And then you can roll over to your left side, come back onto your knees here. Come with me, kind of into a low lunge with the left foot to the front. And then start to find your position here for dragon pose. Maybe bring the left foot a bit more to the outer edge of the mat. Position your prop if you want to use one. Place your right knee that it feels good for you. And then start to move here. Down at the front, find your edge, a comfortable edge for the next around 3 minutes. You can relax your head. And then just connect with your breath. Breathe deeply here. That's one of the asanas that can be a bit more challenging to be comfortable with. Our hips are often quite tight. You can also still hold here a lot of old tension. That's where You can even sometimes dive, just if that feels good for one of you, into kind of praying pose of like whatever higher force is there that may exist, to just let one be able to go through this right now, through this little challenge, through this opening, which is leading us to more opening and more lightness, more relaxation, but to just be able to move through this momentarily feeling maybe of little suffering, uncomfortability. Our mind tries to avoid uncomfortability, will always tell us to do something different than the discomfort. Thirty more seconds. And slowly start to bring yourself out of this pose again, out of dragon pose. Put your hands into your prop onto the mat. Bring your left foot back. Also here, sit back into hero pose. Bring the feet to the long edge of the mat. And then start to sit down between your feet. Start to bring your left foot here to the front now. Also there, check in. Maybe you want to place a prop next to your left leg. Press the back side of the leg into the mat. And then start to let your upper body fall forward here. Also here again. Start maybe at one point. Allow your body to rest here first. And after some time, you can maybe even take the prop a bit more away. Or you just stay with it, whatever is better for you. Breathe in deeply in and out. Also releasing the stress out of the body, which is in form of tension in the muscles, in the tissue, supports our body to stay in a more alkaline state. We can also support always with foods, and fresh air, and deep breathing, what I said in the beginning, as well. That it will let us feel more peaceful just by itself, more happy. So after a yin class, people often feel a bit as if they are hovering over the floor, kind of a little bit flying around, feeling really light, free, and peaceful and calm. The more tension release, the more peace we will experience. One more in and exhale here. And then start to slowly let your upper body rise up into a straight position. Roll over to your left hip. Lengthen your right leg. Maybe you like to grab a blanket or your prop, your bolster, if you, for example, have, and put it behind your back. You can put it length and then place one end directly behind your sit bones. You can start either to bring your sit bones a bit onto the prop, kind of that you sit on it on the last edge. Bring the palms of your feet here together, creating a diamond shape between your legs. And then slowly start to bend here backwards. Maybe you want to put an additional prop that your head is not hanging down. Or you just let your head hang down. Whatever feels good for you. You can place the hands left and right next to your body. Or you can open into cactus arms, having a 90-degree angle between your forearm and your upper arm. Nicely opening your heart and your hips, surrendering, letting go. Allow yourself really just for a moment, kind of give yourself a bit away. Release all the ideas that you need to know, if you know or have to know anything. You can just allow yourself to be for this moment now. Sometimes it can happen that after yin class, if we're not so often in this yin state,
And we can feel quite vulnerable, quite open and sensitive. And allow yourself to accept that and still see it as a safe space to be in. And slowly start to bring your knees here with your hands back together. Either come over the side up into a more seated position or roll over to one side and just push the prop to the other side away. And then come with me here onto your back. Bring your knees once more towards your chest. Hug your knees and roll a bit. Rock here from side to side, closing off what we opened. Everything we open in our body during practice, we also need to close a bit again, because otherwise we can really feel extremely vulnerable and energetically unbalanced as well. Very good. And then come back here to stillness in the middle. Lengthen your legs. Maybe you still like to grab socks, a blanket, or anything else that you still need. Maybe you still like to dim the light a little bit. And then just come into Shavasana and relaxation. You can put the bolster, if you have one, or a blanket under your knees. Let your hips relax even a little bit more. And then find yourself here. Feet around hip wide apart. Hands either palms facing up or down. Let your whole back side of your body start to melt into the mat. Find deep relaxation here. And let yourself be held by the ground. And come here into total stillness for the next few minutes until I guide you back with my voice. And slowly start to breathe a little bit deeper again. Maybe you like to roll your body over to one side, creating with your arm or your hands a little pillow under your head. And starting to slowly, you can still keep your eyes closed. Come with me into a seated position. You can still stay a bit cocooned and wrapped into your blanket if you have one. And if you like, you can bring your hands as well in front of your heart. Namaste. I bow to you. I thank you for taking for yourself this time for the practice, finding more calmness, more gentleness, more slowness, experience everything from a different angle, being more present. If you watch the recording, press the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe if you haven't yet, to also be informed about other upcoming videos. If you should ever like to join one live class, you can just check out in the comments my schedule. And if you ever would like to share something, what you experienced, or if you have any questions, just reach out in the comments or just a message. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you one of the next time.